Hey everyone, just wanted to do a quick review of the 4K Blu-ray of Godzilla Minus One. So this was a pre-order from the Godzilla store in Japan, and it just became available recently. You had to pre-order that, but it also is going to be available an American version pretty soon. But this one's pretty neat. It's like a collector's edition, so let's go through it. So the reason I'm interested in Godzilla Minus One is, first of all, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that. So it's basically Toho's latest version of Godzilla after Shin Godzilla, which I think was the previous version. So this one is co-written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki, and I believe he also used to be a visual effects engineer himself. But this one basically is set in the last days of World War II, where the main character, Shikishima, meets Godzilla, and spoiler alert, Godzilla becomes an unbelievable foe during his rampage. And then Godzilla also gets triggered by nuclear tests in the Pacific, so atomic tests in the Pacific, which gives him his power-ups. And then meanwhile, Shikishima has to deal with he was a kamikaze pilot who basically didn't want to go through with his mission. So he holds himself responsible for the deaths of a bunch of people on Odo Island, which is where Godzilla first appears on a rampage and kills a bunch of people. And the only person left alive are him and the head mechanic, Tachibana. So finally goes back to Tokyo, and then he sees his home completely bombed, and then his parents are dead, and the only person who still recognizes him is his old neighbor, who then he has to sort of take care of a lady and her baby. It's not even her baby, who he sort of meets in a kind of accidental way, and it's just like they go on to form a family, which is really sweet and cute actually. And then he finally has to deal with his trauma by confronting Godzilla. And then there's a whole bunch of adventures that they go on as he meets his other crew, and then go on a Godzilla hunting adventure. So it's a really exciting movie and highly recommend it. So inside this box set, there's a whole bunch of goodies. First of all, there's the actual disc itself. So this is it comes with a lovely illustrated smooth fold out. This is not a steel book, but it has a fold out, and you can see it has the 4K disc, a Blu-ray disc, and then some other special features. It has a special features disc, which is just basically behind the scenes. Unfortunately for that one, there are no English subtitles, but the movies are subtitled, so you're fine with that. And then there's also Godzilla Minus One minus color, so it's the black and white version. And if you haven't seen that, that's also on Netflix right now, but it is amazing looking. They actually recolor grade. Look at that. Look at the illustration on this. I think this is absolutely amazing. So that in itself is for 4 discs, it's kind of a lot. It's like $70 because they were shipping from Japan. It also comes with some little information about other products that they have. A little advert to go on and subscribe to Godzilla.com to get all the latest updates on merch and new releases. There's also a booklet, and this booklet is pretty amazing. It is basically a guide, which is basically all in kanji script, and it details the plans to actually destroy Godzilla. So it actually has all the blueprints and plans. If you can be bothered to read it, if you can't read kanji script, you can just use a Google Translate, or you can scan it and put it into Google Translate, and your AI will tell you. But it actually also has a really nice map of the bay. So it's like pretty nicely, incredibly detailed. And then finally, it has a really nice character guide for the movie, and it kind of like has an introduction by Takashi Yamazaki, and then it goes through and it has some, let me find this, some stills from the movie of the different characters. It tells you the actors who play them. There's Noriko and all the other characters like Dr. Noda and his neighbors Sumiko, and all the sort of advertising and posters and things like that. So there's loads of stuff like that. Now, for this, if you had pre-ordered it, they would have sent you a link for you to download the English version of that, which you can then print at home. So that's really nice, and I did print that, and it's all the same, but it's on a piece of paper, which doesn't fit in the box, obviously. But it has all the director's notes, all the production notes, and they're all written in English, so you can read that at your leisure. And it has all the character descriptions and the same thing. It has some visual effects storyboards and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more detailed than the booklet, but you can read that. And then things like information about Dolby Atmos and stuff like that. So that is Godzilla Minus One box set. I highly recommend it if you can get it. I do believe that they will have a US version coming out pretty soon. So this was kind of collectors. The only thing that sucks about this is that the special features disc doesn't have any English subtitles at all. So that is really sad. I also heard that there is a English dub version which you can watch on Netflix. I haven't tried that yet, but people said that it wasn't bad. So for people who don't like reading subtitles, I think you can get it also in English, and I heard it's not bad. But I never watch Japanese movies like that. I always watch Japanese movies in original text yeah. So it comes in this kind of detachable sleeve. I don't like these sleeves myself, because I always find them kind of fiddly to have on the shelf when you're taking the book in and out. So it's not a steel book. I believe that is going to come out soon. So would I buy this again? Well, actually, I was in Tokyo a couple months ago. This was us at the Godzilla store. You can actually get your sales tax back, but you have to get it when you make your purchase. Ask the clerk for the US sales tax form, which they have to fill out on the spot while you're paying. So don't leave the point of sale without that US tax form. Then you have to take that to the top floor of the Godzilla store in order to get your cash back and show your passport and everything. So nobody tells you this. So this is a worthwhile piece of information, because you will get your sales tax back, and you don't have to do it at the airport. You can get your money back right then and there. So I highly recommend that. So Godzilla Minus One. About the Godzilla store, the Godzilla store in Shinjuku is located in a building that has many floors with different outlets. So the Godzilla merchandise portion is only one part of this huge store. And there are different point of sales for all the different things. So like there's a different part of the store which is only for snacks. Then there's a different part of the store which is only for like hair accessories and earrings and things. And they have different point of sale. So don't go up to any of those. You have to buy and pay for the Godzilla merch at that point of sale. And that's the only place that you can get the tax back form. So please make sure you do that before you go. The staff are incredibly unhelpful. I would give them a thumbs down. But once you get your money back, it's fine. It's just a huge amount of people going there in a very, very small space. And I don't recommend that. So go to the Godzilla store when you've had, a huge meal, and you've had enough to eat or drink, because if you stand in line waiting, it's going to be a nightmare. So just be careful. But anyway, the Godzilla Minus One box set, collector's box set, I highly recommend.